What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful fight fans across the world, and let's just say, let's go. Finally, my favorite fighter in the UFC, the number one Shavkat Glazer on YouTube right here. Finally, he gets a title shot versus Bilal Muhammad at UFC 310 in December, last pay-per-view of the year. It's gonna be a good way to end a great year. Okay, so we got UFC 310. It's actually a banger of the card. I'm going to get into it now, but I just wanted to say, Shavkat, look at my name. Let's go, man. Let's go. Just seeing that news yesterday. I was going to drop a video on it yesterday, but I had to make a video about Bivol, Beterbiev, and also Tyra and Royval because crazy fights last night. The main events were some crazy fights. But this news yesterday, the school, everything got me fucked up right now. Everything got me down in my bag. And then I just wake up to Dana White screaming in my face that Shavkat's getting a title shot. And, you know, life's good again. Let me just say that. Life is great again because my favorite fighter's fighting for a title. Okay, nothing's better than when your favorite fighter is going out there defending or fighting for a title. All right, but let's get straight into the card. Let's not waste any more time because I already wasted a bunch. Let's start from the bottom and we'll go to the top. So, Michael Chiesa, Max Griffin. Who cares, brother? Who cares? Anthony Smith versus Dominic Reyes. Two unks going at it. The two unks of the light heavyweight division going at it. Two people that almost defeated John Jones going at it. Anthony Smith versus Dominic Reyes might be one of the craziest matchups the UFC has put on in a while. Honestly, I think Dominic Reyes is gonna knock Anthony Smith the fuck out, and it would be great to watch because Anthony Smith, he wants to be a commentator. He don't wanna be a fighter, my boys. He don't wanna be a fighter. Okay, he wants to have that commentating job with Kamaru Usman, with Megan O'Leary. You know, he likes to talk crap around the table. He doesn't want to be a champion. Let's be real. He doesn't want to be a champion. But isn't it crazy that he was almost one fight away from the belt? If he beat Khalil Rountree, he would have fought for the belt. It's crazy when you think about it. But nah, I'm just obviously playing. But they would not give the title shot to Anthony Smith. But Dominic Reyes versus Anthony Smith, honestly, a pretty intriguing matchup because whoever loses this gotta retire. Okay, whoever loses this fight, it's time to retire, Unk. But Nick Diaz versus Vicente Luque, another Unk versus Unk. Man, if Nick Diaz comes back and looks like vintage Nick Diaz and puts it on Vicente Luque, how great would that be to see? That would be awesome to see, but how likely is that to happen? Pretty unlikely. I think Vicente Luque, even though he's not the same Luque before he got his brain aneurysm, he's a completely different fighter now. He doesn't take as much risk. I think he's scared. Obviously, he would be scared. He almost died from Jeff Neal almost killed him from his goddamn brain aneurysm. That's not a joke. But Vicente Luque versus Nick Diaz. I think Vicente Luque is taking this one. Movsar Evloev versus Aljamain Sterling. Actually, a pretty intriguing matchup because both of them have great wrestling. Both of them rely on their wrestling a lot. Both of them rely on takedowns a lot. So, who do I see winning this matchup? I think Aljamain Sterling, the Funk Master, even though I don't like him. Even though he's not one of my favorite fighters, I think he could put it on Movsar Evloev. Whoever comes out of this matchup between Movsar and Aljo, whoever comes up on top, it's a great win. Putting them in title contention at featherweight, it's an awesome win to have. But Aljo versus Movsar Evloev, I think that's kind of a sleeper fight. I'm not going to lie because I feel like their wrestling might negate each other and they're just going to throw hands. You know, Movsar, even though everybody likes, you know, he does spam a couple of takedowns, this and that, he kind of has some good hands. Aljamain's hands are kind of, I don't know, kind of iffy. Okay, they're kind of iffy. Aljamain's better with, like, making it dirty with his takedowns and clinching up. That's what he's good with. But how much do I rely on Aljo's striking? I think Movsar could outstrike him. Okay, I think he could. And I don't think that's a crazy take to have. But it's definitely an intriguing matchup. I can see either of these guys taking that win. Cyril Gane versus Volkov. Who cares, brother? I'm just kidding. We already saw this matchup. Who do we hope wins more out of this? Volkov or Cyril Gane? I don't think it really matters. Okay, because whoever they fight, Tom Aspinall or John Jones, they're both going to get cooked. So it don't matter. Maybe Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall would be a better fight. So hopefully Cyril Gane takes this one. I think, yeah, we need some fresh blood. We don't need to see Tom Aspinall just ragdoll Volkov again and just beat him up. But definitely an intriguing matchup. I hope Cyril Gane wins. Even though I don't like him, I just hope he wins. It would be better for the division. Let's just say that. Kai Asakura versus Alexandre Pantoja. Bro's getting a title shot in his UFC debut. I might drop a video on that because that in and itself is insanity. Getting a title shot in your first fight in the UFC? That's some gold. If he comes out there and defeats Pantoja in his debut, bro, that's GOAT status right there. Okay, that's GOAT status. Do I think he will? No. I think Pantoja is going to put it on Kai Asakura. Bro, Kai Asakura got knocked out by Manel Cap. That's all we got to say. But, yo, if Kai Asakura came out there and destroyed Alexandre Pantoja, oh my God, how great would that be? That would be amazing. That would be goddamn amazing to see. Because Kai Asakura, I watched a couple of his fights, and he's an exciting fighter. He's a very exciting fighter. We just had Brandon Royval versus Tatsuro Taira last night. It was a great fight. It was a very close fight until the end. Brandon Royval just edged it out. But now Brandon Royval is probably going to get the next title shot after Kai Kara France. Maybe Kai Kara France versus Brandon Royval 2, I guess, is the fight to make. But Pantoja versus Kai Asakura, great fight. Great fight. Hopefully Kai Asakura, even if he loses, I hope he goes out there and puts on a great performance because he deserves some recognition. He outside of the UFC, he put in a lot of work. He's a big star. Go on his YouTube. He's a huge star. He gets a lot of views on his YouTube. A lot of views. It's freaking crazy, but he's loved in Japan. He's popular in Japan. It would be great to see Kai Asakura win. But we got Tatsuro Taira coming up in the flyweight division as well. I love Tatsuro Taira's grappling. One of the most entertaining grapplers in the UFC. Faux show. Last night, bro, compare how Pantoja was wrestling against Brandon Royval to how Tatsuro Taira was wrestling against Brandon Royval. Pantoja had an easier time getting Brandon Royval down. But Tatsuro Taira, when he had the body triangle or when he eventually did get Brandon Royval down, he was cooking. Okay, he was cooking. Let's just say that. He was putting in some work on the ground, going for submissions, causing damage. He was putting in work. Shout out Tatsuro Taira, an actual entertaining grappler in the UFC. Pantoja's not like that, my boys. Pantoja's not like that. He might have a better ability to get you down and hold you down, but he's not as exciting as Tatsuro Taira. All Tatsuro Taira needs to work on is his hands, and I can see him being the next flyweight champ. He's only like 24 years old, so he has a lot of room to grow. Shout out Tatsuro Taira. My first video was about him, so shout out to bro. He'll always hold a special place in my heart because my first video was about him. But then we got in the main event of the evening, Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Bilal Muhammad. Honestly, I think this is a tough fight for both of these fighters. I think it's a very tough fight for both of these guys. I think these guys are going to go to war. Okay, I don't think this one's ending early. I can see Shavkat Rakhmonov going out there and getting a third or fourth round finish. How awesome would that be? Shavkat Rakhmonov's the only hope we have for the welterweight division. Okay? I might put some stakes on this fight, and y'all will see. When the fight gets close, I might put some stakes on this, and we'll make it interesting, my boys. We'll make it interesting. Stay tuned for that. Subscribe for that, because it's going to get interesting when this fight goes down. I'm going to put some crazy stakes up on YouTube for this. You'll see what risk I'm willing to take for Shavkat winning, because he's my favorite fighter in the UFC. I got to make it a statement out here. I can't just let it be a little flimsy or whimsy little fight out there. Okay, I got to make it a little interesting. I got to put a little bit of chips into the pot, as you catch my drift. But not money. We're not talking money. You'll see what I'm talking about in a couple of months. But, whew, this is going to be a good matchup. I have a feeling it's going to be a great matchup. You know, Bilal Muhammad, he honestly could go out there and win a decision over Shavkat Rakhmonov. It's definitely possible. Bilal Muhammad is a force to be reckoned with in the welterweight division. He proved that against Leon Edwards. Absolutely ragdolled him. Absolutely pieced him up the whole fight. But I think Shavkat, I think he can damage Bilal. I think he can take Bilal into deep waters and find the submission or the TKO. I really think he can, and I hope he does, because this is what we need for the welterweight division. We need Shavkat Rakhmonov. Oh, we need him. My cousin with Genghis Khan DNA. I could pass for Shavkat Rakhmonov's cousin. Okay, I could pass. I know I say this about all Central Asian fighters, but I'm Central Asian, so I'm just saying it how it is. Okay, I'm just saying it how it is. You know, I look like a mix between Shavkat Rakhmonov and Raul Rosas Jr. Gee whiz, but that's it. Let's not get into this. You know, Shavkat, I think it's gonna be a dirty fight. I think this is how this is gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be no nice boxing or anything like that, like the Jeff Neal fight. I think there's going to be clinch work. I think there's going to be takedowns. I think there's going to be elbows. I think there's going to be knees. This is going to be a dirty fight for both of these guys. And both of these guys, they both prosper when it becomes a dirtier of a fight. So I think it's an awesome matchup. I don't think it's going to be a boring fight. But let me know down below. What do y'all think about this matchup? What do y'all think about this card? I think it's a pretty good card. Has some pretty decent fights so far, and it's not even finished. We only have like 5 fights on it so far, but it's pretty decent. It's looking decent. Shout out my boy Shavkat Rakhmonov, man, for getting his title shot. Even though the only thing I'll say bad about Shavkat Rakhmonov, he's so inactive. Okay, he could have got one more matchup in between the time from here to now, but at least he's fighting for the belt now. That's the one thing I don't like about him coming in for this fight, because when was the last time he fought? When he fights Bilal Muhammad, it's gonna be a year, because he went and subbed Wonder Boy in this last December, so it's gonna be a year when he goes in there and fights Bilal. I don't like that. But hopefully he goes out there and gets the win. I think he can. I really think he can, and I think a lot of people do. But I think a lot of people are underrating Bilal too. I don't want that to happen either. But let me know down below. What do y'all think? Leave a like, subscribe. I'm dropping videos like this every single day, no matter what. I was depressed, but seeing this news on my phone yesterday and seeing those fights last night, that brought me back. Okay, life is great. Okay, life can't be greater when we have fights like this going on. But if Shavkat Rakhmonov loses, you guys might have to check up on me. Okay, you guys might have to put me on suicide watch. But turn the notifications on, and I'll see you, beautiful people, in the next one, my boys.